Yo, what's up everybody? If you're new here, my name is Tyler. If you're not, welcome back. I need a job. So today I'm taking you through everything. How I utilize AI to build my resume, what a strong resume even looks like, where I apply, and how I personally prep for my hardest interview questions. Real quick, for the people that don't know this, I'm currently doing a summer internship with no guarantee of a return offer. So instead of sitting around snoozing, I'm job hunting right now. And this video is long overdue. A couple weeks ago, I got an email from a supporter named Jonathan, who I'll pop up on the screen. Basically, he reached out to me because he just needed guidance on just how to get a job, get an internship, or just be successful in his career path. And because he reached out, it made me realize that who I am and my background is actually applicable to many people who are watching this or who could be watching this. And it's evident because I had a lot of people commenting under my other video, my day in the life video, just kind of needing reassurance or just guidance or just clarifying answers to their questions. And I confidently believe that I have the background to do so. That's why I'm making this video. So shout out Jonathan and shout out all my supporters. Let's get into it. Nowadays, it's super easy to optimize your resume. There literally should be no excuse because now we have AI. That being said, there's an infinite amount of ways you could utilize AI for your resume, and I'll show you guys personally what I do. Okay, so like I mentioned, I'm currently at an internship right now with JP Morgan, and obviously for the sake of this video, I don't want to go into detail about what I do. Yeah, just into the specifics because I'm gonna get banned. Let me give you guys a quick rundown. So there's two ways you guys can approach this. Number one, keep a running list of everything you do during the duration of the internship, and then at the end, use AI to condense that list into something that you can put into bullet points. Or two, the way that I'm gonna show you guys right now is to simply refer to the role that you're in, refer to that job description, and upload it into your favorite LLM. So let me show you guys what that looks like. So here I am, I'm at my job description for a future role that is like the exact same thing as mine that I'm in right now. So I'm gonna go to the job description, I'm looking at it, okay, and take what I need. A job responsibility is right here. I'll just copy this segment right here and then go to my favorite LLM. So what I've been using as of recent is Claude. Okay, so look, now I'm on Claude and I'm gonna just run a simple prompt. Can you utilize this job description and give me resume bullet points? Okay, so look, this is the output that it gave me. Your guys' definitely won't look like mine because I currently have a skill in Claude that creates the perfect resume bullet point for me. And what I mean by that is that I look for three things within the perfect bullet point. So number one, to always include a technology or application. So look, it says built Excel financial models supporting yada yada yada. It could have just said built financial models, but it houses a technology or application in it that showcases your skill that you're utilizing that application. And two, the quantity. Always, if you can, always have a quantitative item on your bullet point, no matter if it's a percentage or a revenue number. I think that psychologically, when someone looks at your resume, I think having numbers, it just allows the viewer to, or allows the reader to kind of like catch their attention. And three, to always be one line. So that's why you guys see character numbers right here, 109, 122. It shows how long the bullet point is. And if going back to my resume, aesthetically, I always, if I can, try to have it at one line, because at the end of the day, like, it kind of sucks, right? That we have to rely on aesthetics, but that's just how it is. The prettier your resume is, you know, the likely the audience or reader will kind of accept it naturally. But I don't know, that's just my take. And something that I love to do always is that, if you guys couldn't tell, on my resume, I like to keep it around three bullet points just for the aesthetics. Simply, when I have all those bullet points right there, I simply end it off with, can you pick the three best bullet points for me, and run off from there. I take those three bullet points and put it in the resume. Okay, so look, the segment I just covered was about job experiences. And if you watched up to this point and are not resonating with that because, for example, you might have no work experience, you might not have an internship, let me do you a favor and also cover how I use AI to help me develop the project section of my resume. The project section of your resume is just as important as the experiences and jobs. A project proves the exact same thing a job does, that you can build something and finish it. You don't need a big company, you don't need it to be under a flashy app or NVIDIA. Any project that utilizes a skill within your career field is just as valuable. Let's take a look at my projects and let me walk you through why I have them and what about it makes it so valuable to be put on a resume. So let's start at November 2024, my first project or my earliest project. Luckily for me, I was able to do projects while I was in college and while I was in school. I did a data analytics project in my class and was able to work with other students. So basically, it's the same process. You take everything you did within the project, even if it's brief, even if you're very vague, and just upload it to the LLM. Ask your LLM to do the exact same thing as a job description. Hey, I need resume bullet points. Can you make these into resume bullet points? And the more specific you are, the better the bullet points are. So make sure to always include the three things that I told you guys about. You know, have a quantity, have some type of number, show a technology, an application. So for example, utilize pivot tables and VLOOKUP. Okay, so now you might be thinking, wait, Tyler, I thought you said that this part of the video would be useful for somebody who doesn't have job experiences. What if I don't have project experience? What do I do now? Because we have LLMs, I want to pursue and then now you put your career path, career goal, whatever. Could you give me a list of project ideas for my resume? After inputting the prompt, the project ideas are very, very like well thought out. So I guess like here on the top, it gives you like the key skills within that career path. So like SQL, as a data analyst myself, I use a lot of SQL, or I have a lot of times where I'll be data querying, and then it gives you projects based on those skills. So now that you have these, the next step is to just act on it. So pick a project, or if you don't like these, ask Claude or any LLM to reiterate on it. The key takeaway that I want to give you guys is that make it personable. One of my projects is a personal finance machine learning analysis predictive modeling project. I just made it sound fancy for my resume, and all it is in simple is that I connected all my bank accounts. So I have Discover, Chase, and Wells Fargo. I did a project just basically just trying to analyze in which seasons of my life I spend the most on. And the reason I say make it personable is because when you get into an interview, it's 10 times easier to talk about an experience that you know about rather than something that you made up. Like obviously, right? So now that we have the different sections of the resume out of the way, I want to get into the overall resume. What makes a strong resume? So for me at least, I utilize the Jake's resume. If you do a simple Google search, you'll find it. But the Jake's resume is like the standard. For all of my mentees and all of my friends that need career help or resume help, I point them towards Jake's resume. And a lot of people who utilize the Jake's resume format it differently or have the sections a little bit reordered or just different than mine. But what I think is effective in my own personal belief, you should always section off your Jake's resume with the education first, then your skills, work experiences, projects, and then leadership experiences. But that's just me. So taking that into account, I want you guys to play off of your key strengths. So what I mean by that is that, let's say for skills at least, right? Let's say you don't house a lot of skills. It's not going to be very useful for you to have your skills all the way on the top if you're not showcasing a lot, right? So then I would move that lower down, because supposedly the average recruiter spends less than like 7 seconds on your resume, right? Within that 7 seconds, you want to grab their attention as much as possible. So highlighting skills that aren't, as strong or just doesn't represent your character as well is not going to play into your favor. And on that note, I have all my work experiences because I've had a lot of internships. And let's say you don't, totally perfectly fine to put your projects on top if you have more projects than you do work experiences, or if you're more confident with your projects over your work experiences. Okay, now that you have your perfect resume, where do you actually use it? I've spoken to a lot of people about this topic, and it varies per person, but for me at least, I'm very minimalistic, I'm very simple. A lot of people utilize all the resources, all the websites they can possibly, but I think that it's perfectly fine to just stick to LinkedIn. LinkedIn has always been perfect for me. I'm gonna just show you guys what I do. Okay, so here we are on LinkedIn, and then I'm on the jobs tab, and as you guys can see, top job picks for you. LinkedIn is a social media tool. It filters to your for you page. So because I've had LinkedIn for so long, it kind of knows the type of jobs that I want. But let's say that it doesn't. My rule of thumb for internships at least is I love to search up my major. So I was an MIS major, Management Information Systems, and then the semester or season you want to get your internship, summer, and then the year 2027. And then look, it gives me hella options. The list goes on, you guys get the gist. Throughout my tenure in college, LinkedIn carried me. I didn't use all the other sites, the ones that they promote online. I strictly stuck to LinkedIn. Let's say you conquer LinkedIn, right? Let's say you can't find any more. Another thing I love to use is GitHub repos. I don't hear that many people talking about it, but let me put you guys on. So basically on this repo, it has a list of all the companies and the roles that they're looking to hire. But here's the thing though, this repo is specifically targeted to software engineers, people in tech, but here's how you use it in your favor. So for example, you guys see Tesla, right? So obviously this says vehicle software intern, torque path, and chassis controls. I have no idea what that means. I'm an analyst, I'm a business major. No idea what a torque path is or a chassis control. So I'm gonna click apply. So my thought process now is that if Tesla is currently hiring for this internship that is specifically targeted to tech or any other major, why would they not be hiring for business majors as well? So then I could go to search, right? Search and then look for job type, intern. From here, we can look for all the business analyst related internships, right? You go search it up, but I personally like to go through. Look, boom, right here. Business analyst, application engineering. This could be applicable to somebody like me, currently pursuing a degree in a related field, data analytics. See, that already is Boom, checkbox. Now you know that you're applicable to apply for this. And basically that's all I did. LinkedIn, conquer LinkedIn, GitHub repo. There, boom. So now you have the resume, you have where to put the resume. The most important part out of all those two is consistency. Watching this video, if there's one thing that I want you guys to take away, is that you have to be consistent. No matter how good your resume is, no matter how skillful you think you are, the people reviewing your resume are human as well. If they had a bad night the night before and they see your resume, they might just boom, throw it in the trash. So you have to be consistent. You have to be disciplined. Pick a number of applications that you're comfortable with doing every single day. And for me personally, that number was 5. I only did 5 applications a day. No more, no less. And why I want to hand over this fact to you guys is because it could be you, it could be your friend. I know that there's a lot of people in this world that will feel motivated and be like, I gotta get a job, I gotta get an internship, and then they'll go ahead and apply for 50 in one day, kill out 50 applications to feel like a champ, and then the next day they do 0 because, like, you know, 50 is a lot and they're probably burnt out, tired, and they probably received like 3 declines that morning. That's why I say pick a number that you're comfortable doing each day and just, you know, take care of it. In addition to that consistency, I highly recommend for you guys keep track of the jobs you guys apply for. I'll link a free job tracker in the description below. But anyways, why I say that is because, so let's say you apply for the job, right? And you get an interview. How are you going to prepare for that job interview if you don't even know what you applied for? And on that note, let's move on to interviews. Luckily for us business majors, we don't have to worry about many technical interviews. The hardest interview type we have to worry about is behaviorals. A behavioral interview is a type of interview where the employer will ask you to share stories from your past, and it'll be very specific, and the whole goal of it is to try to see if you're capable to do X, Y, and Z skill. Instead of asking regular what would you do type of questions, interviewers want to kind of probe you, engage, you know, your own experiences and how they're applicable to, like I said, X, Y, and Z skill. It'll usually start off with something like, tell me about a time when X, Y, and Z, or give me an example of X. I can't think of any question from the top of my head, but one popular one for sure is, give me a time when you led a team and what was the result of it. Now that we understand the question, how exactly do you answer it? If you didn't know this already, the industry standard to answering behavioral questions fall under the STAR method. S, situation, T, task, A, action, and R, result. That's exactly how you're supposed to answer it. With situation, you briefly set the context and scene. With task, you want to be able to explain what you were specifically responsible for. Action, detail exactly what you did to solve the problem. And result, summarize what you did and what you learned. Recruiters 9 out of 10 times are looking for you to answer the questions in the STAR method. This might sound super overwhelming because there's an infinite amount of questions. So realistically, which ones should you prepare for? I can't give you an exact answer, but I can give you my answer. Before any interview, I always prepare for these 3 questions. Question number 1, tell me about yourself. Question number 2, why do you want to work at X company? And question number 3, what is your biggest strengths/weaknesses? In my opinion, I think those are the hardest questions ever. I can never answer those questions without stuttering. Like, over time, you go through the interview process and kind of collect a catalog of the hardest questions or your questions. And in my personal opinion, please keep those written down so that you can practice and get better over time. So that's the whole process, start to finish. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. Right now, in this day of age, in this market, the job search is not easy whatsoever. Landing a job is actually super duper impressive. And if I had to choose one piece of information from this whole video to give you to remember, is that stay consistent. A lot of people quit. Don't be most people. And if you're currently recruiting or in the job hunt right now, and you know you had a question that I did not answer or get by, feel free to shoot me an email or drop a comment below and I'll answer all of it. I'm trying to give you guys as much knowledge as possible, give you guys everything that's in my brain to help you succeed. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye. Boom!